Hey everybody, Ranger Chris here and hope you're having a great day. Today we have 15 tips for Colorado and other tough maps. Now on the screen you're seeing a playthrough of Colorado I did, trying to get Silent Assassin with suit only, without any loadout, no gear, bringing nothing into the match. And so it's just to show that, once you practice a map enough times and have a good idea of what the layout is like, you can work around any kind of difficulties they have. And that's what the Perfect Setup series is about, right? It's not telling you what to do or anything, it's just showing you what the layout is like so that you will have all the information you need to plan your play. So when you know where the poison is or where the fire extinguishers are or the propane tanks, where the collectibles are and whether you should go for them now or later, it's all to help you plan yourself. And part of that is learning NPC behavior also. Knowing where the NPCs will be will make your life a lot easier because they all have predictable loops. Like this guy here, the explosives expert, who if you watch my guide on Colorado, we need for the disguise, always has the same loop. And that brings me to my second point, which is to learn these loops, the best way is to practice these maps in the base game before Freelancer. In the base game, the risk is a lot less. You're not going to be losing half your mercers, you're not going to be losing all the items you bring into the match like you would in Freelancer. And I especially recommend practicing maps which we are not as familiar with at least one time in the base game. All of us have maps which we're not amazing at, at least one map. And I definitely recommend trying those maps out before going into Freelancer in the base game with minimal risk, where you can practice all kinds of crazy strategies, and who knows, they might carry on to the base game. One of those strategies are the peekaboo. Now, peekaboo is when you have a target you see in the distance, in line of sight, you intentionally get in their line of sight, say it's a guard or a target or anybody who you're not supposed to be there when you're trespassing and they're an enforcer. You saw how that white dot above the head became more and more, it started to fill up a lot more. That meant they were about to catch you. And what they'll do is they'll move to your last known position. So she moved to where I was standing before I broke line of sight. We're going to see that being done here again with Sean Rose. I'm going to stand at this window edge, hoping that I can do the peekaboo technique on this guy. And if I stand there long enough and he becomes suspicious enough, he'll get the question mark above his head. Use your instinct to confirm that the question mark still is remaining there while they're walking towards you, and you'll know that he's going to go to right where you're standing right now. And use that information to your advantage. Knowing that, I try to get into position behind him to get the perfect kill. So going back to Colorado, I think this map has a bad reputation because it released with the original Hitman game, and in a time where most missions gave you some breathing room in your suit to walk around, learn the lay of the land. This one doesn't. You need to get a disguise very fast or you're in trouble. But the difference is, once you get a disguise, if you've seen the Perfect Setup guide, it's very, very easy to get around the map with very little trouble. And here I'm showing you even with suit only, if you know the map well, it's not a problem. And part of knowing the map well is knowing where these vault spots are. They make Colorado, for lack of a better word, they make it easy to get around. Because when you have these vault spots and you know where the NPCs are going to be around them, and there are not a lot of them, you will be able to make your way around the entire map without too much difficulty. Now, I'm doing this in my suit only. Imagine if I had a disguise. If you had any one of the disguises, usually you're allowed out here. And you can easily bypass the enforcers. If you can do it in your suit, you can do it in a disguise much more easily. Plus, if you have items to help you, that is great also. Not only are the vault spots important, but this tall grass here in Colorado, they really help conceal where you are. Now, if you saw the Perfect Setup guide, I actually, with my disguise, went over to the trash can and threw the melee weapon into this long grass so that I could conceal the body. Here I'm doing the other way around. Melee weapons are your best source of distraction and range takedown in this map. If you have stuff to bring with you, definitely do, but if you don't, use everything you can grab. Again, be cautious, be patient, don't take unnecessary risks. This is a tried and true fact in Freelancer for sure, and especially in dangerous maps like Colorado. If you're about to do some technique which you know in your mind you're thinking, well, if I do that, cover may get blown, think again. Just see if maybe there's a better way. Maybe you should just wait an extra 30 seconds. Patience really pays off. In the Colorado map, if you remember the orchard starting location, very easy straightforward run, right? But to get there, you literally had to wait there for about 40 seconds doing nothing, not even moving for 40 seconds. The water tower, if you remember that start from the video, you wait up in the water tower for another 30 to 40 seconds straight, just not moving. You don't need to take down anybody, just not moving, and the NPCs will get into good position for you to go for the first disguise. So things like that, very important. Colorado. Wait. Again, here, right on the screen, to take out Ezra, I had to wait 3 minutes, I think, or something like that. That's why I had to forward that. But patience is rewarded in Colorado, and that's not. I'm not even saying that's a good thing. It's a frustrating thing that you have to wait to get the best results. But that's not that is what Colorado is. Know the different map zones well and who has those disguises. So some maps like what comes to mind are Mendoza, Chongqing, Mumbai, some of these maps, and especially Colorado, they have very different zones, and each one of these zones have different enforcers who can see through different disguises. For the most part, once you get the right disguise, you should be able to get through these areas without problem. In Colorado, it's the mansion, the barn, and the demolition area. We go over those disguises in the main guide, and knowing which NPCs you want to take down and store them somewhere so you can easily get those disguises again is very important. Here again, you're seeing the many items are removed or reshuffled for alerted territories or master difficulty. So what you see in some of the guides may not always be what you get when you go into a mission, especially in hardcore alerted territories. So keep that in mind. I try to go over items where you can consistently find. For example, in this map, most of the crowbars are removed in the highest difficulty or in alerted territories. The only crowbars which you can get are inside the barn itself, making needing a disguise very important. You can still get the crowbar without disguise, but it is much more difficult to do so. Now here we're just trying to get into the main house. This is one technique. I'm going to forward this a little bit. I actually think this is unnecessary. I kept calling 2-3 guards over, knocking them out. But yeah, this would all be a lot easier if you had the right disguise. And don't be afraid to use disguises. The only reason I'm showing this is to let you know that yes, you can do the difficult, tough route, but you don't need to in Freelancer. That's not the point of it. Unless you have a Silent Assassin side objective or prestige objective, you really don't need to do that. There are much bigger stakes in Freelancer. If you get a cover blown or get shot down early, you lose a lot more, and so it's not worth the risk. So here we are going into the main house, and so far I haven't used anything which I haven't found inside the maps, and this will continue. Here's the most important point here, I feel, is knowing how to do cover takedowns well. Cover takedowns is when you get up against the wall, get up close against the wall by pressing whichever button it is. For me it's B, PlayStation's O, and then waiting for your target or the NPC you want to take down to come close. And you don't really need even to get the timing right, you just need to spam the button. Just keep spamming square or X or whatever it is repeatedly, and it will let you take the target down very fast and discreetly. Your cover won't get blown unless someone else outside sees you do it. So I love this technique. It's one of the strongest techniques for you to learn. You can practice it easily in the ICA safe house level, you know, the very first level in the game. And it's definitely worth investing some time into learning to do it right, because it can save you so much trouble in difficult situations. There are many exits in Colorado. Just know the safest ones to take. If you're not wearing a disguise, it's very hard to go outside. This is actually an exit I don't recommend at all. This is the basement exit here. You have to take out these hackers, you have to take out that guard which you saw me take out to print this mask safely. Otherwise there's almost no way to do this safely with no gear, you know. So this exit, the basement exit, is not one I recommend. You know, I definitely recommend one of the outside exits, but in this situation you have to adapt to what you have. And all I had was this basement because my last target was in here, and I didn't want to risk running out there again, because now I didn't know what the NPC makeup is out there, because I knocked out a few people and stuff. So adapt to your situation and make the best of what you have. Always go for the safest exits, and the safest exits, in my opinion, are the ones where if you have a good disguise and you can get through the sentinels, do that. Next tip is don't be afraid to to use up the safe house collectibles you find in the match. The only one in this match, Colorado, is the modern emetic syringe. Now, yeah, you can take that back to your safe house, but at the same time, if it's going to give me an easy kill here, so if I use the syringe here, even if they find the body, I won't lose Silent Assassin. If I had used my screwdriver, actually I wanted to do that. Had someone seen the body, I would have lost, you know, all that progress. So I went with a safe route.
Is a wonderful god.
Don't be afraid to lose your items, because you'll always get them back. In fact, something like the emetic syringe, you can make that in your safe house. Again, going with knowing where the map strong points are, know the accident kill spots, the loops. Sometimes your target could be walking along that exact same loop from the base game. That just, you know, having better map knowledge, having better base map knowledge will really help you in the bigger picture. And finally, prestige objectives. You have to try to get your prestige objective, okay, when you're playing Freelancer, but don't go for those which are high risk. High risk ones are like Silent Assassin, Suit Only, Time to Get Disguises. These are three which immediately come to mind, and these are really tough to get and easy to fail, and if you fail those, you fail the entire mission, and if not the entire campaign. So definitely don't take high risk objectives. It's not worth it, especially if you are just starting out. So I hope you enjoyed this Silent Assassin Suit Only no gear run of Colorado. I just wanted to show you that it's possible if you know the maps and you know where everything is set up, and that's what our perfect setup guides are like. So definitely do check them out. I want to let you know that I appreciate you so much, all the support you've given us. Please remember to like and subscribe. We really like making these videos for you. Take care and see you next time.